Hello, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a post-fight show for UFC on Fox. Johnson versus Bader, light heavyweight main event. Yeah, I'll make this, this is a post-fight show of the main card, and I'll make this a quick episode, just a quick rundown of the main card on who won, who lost, and how. So, the main event was a 5-round light heavyweight main event with Ryan Bader versus Anthony Johnson. In theory, the winner would get a title shot against the winner of John Jones and Daniel Cormier for the light heavyweight title in the UFC. Yeah, I thought Ryan Bader's wrestling was going to get the job done and win a boring decision. However, Anthony Johnson stopped that from happening, and I like Ryan Bader, by the way. Anthony Johnson stopped that from happening. He stuffed the takedown attempt of Ryan Bader. Ryan Bader went for that single leg, real low from far away. Couldn't get it, and then it was a minute and 26 seconds of the first round. KO punches round 1. So there you have it. Anthony Johnson pretty much just got top position and was punching the lights out of Ryan Bader. So hopefully Ryan Bader makes a comeback, because I want to see Ryan Bader fight for the belt. But I think we got a good challenger on our hands with Anthony Johnson back in a good win spot right now. Then in the co-main event, we had a heavyweight clash with Ben Rothwell versus Josh Barnett, former UFC heavyweight champ. This was second round submission, guillotine choke, 3 minutes 48 seconds. Yeah, this was just a great. Yeah, there is a modification on this guillotine choke. It wasn't your typical guillotine choke. Ben Rothwell had a name for it. Watch the fight, see what he called it. And Ben Rothwell, he's on a big win streak right now, and I say he's 1 or 2 fights away from fighting for the belt. I don't think you give him the title shot just yet. He still needs to beat a top 3 or 4 guy, I think, to get a title shot for the belt. But I think Ben Rothwell's in a good spot right now. He's definitely earned a big matchup in his next fight that could definitely put him in fighting for the belt. Yeah, then also on the main card in the bantamweight division, we had Jimmy Rivera versus Yuri Alcantara, 2 veterans in the UFC. Jimmy Rivera has a lot of hype with him, and this fight card taking place in New Jersey, it was pretty much the hometown crowd of Jimmy Rivera. And Yuri Alcantara is a Brazilian, so he was far away from home, but he's an experienced veteran. And this one of the co-main event are the 2 that I for sure got right. Jimmy Rivera won unanimous decision. It was a 29-28 unanimous decision. It was a hard-fought fight. Yuri had some good moments in the stand-up, but so did Jimmy Rivera. And this was a points match, essentially. Good job, Jimmy Rivera. Jimmy Rivera definitely needs to be fighting the top 10, maybe top 15 guys in his next fight. I mean, Yuri's, he's a well-established veteran. But let's make sure that Jimmy fights a ranked guy, a well-ranked guy in his next fight. Depending on what rankings you look at, Yuri could be ranked somewhere, but definitely put Jimmy fighting a top 10, if not top 15 guy in his next fight. Jimmy Rivera, he has good submission defense and great striking. After watching several of his matches. Then to kick off the main card in the welterweight division, we had Brian Barbarina versus Sage Northcutt, and wow, this one, it was second round submission arm triangle choke for Brian. I don't think anyone saw this coming. I thought that Sage, his submission defense would hold up, and I thought he'd be able to be active off his back and look for elbows off his back and throw some good strikes off his back and eventually pop right back up, because the way he was able to do that with Cody Pfister, I think a lot of people thought that Sage, at the very worst case scenario of this fight, he would be able to do that with Bryan. However, that wasn't the case. Bryan was able to get that submission in the second round, shocking a lot of people. But I think Sage Northcutt's going to learn from this. I mean, that was a submission in half guard like that, and I was just a little shocked. I mean, because it didn't look like Sage was really in. Yeah, it didn't look like Sage was in a lot of trouble. I thought that, if Bryan was able to get out of the guard and pass the guard more and be moving around more, I thought that would have been a tighter choke for Bryan, but who knows? I mean, who knows what Sage was going through. Yeah, so there you have it. Barbarina wins second round submission. Stay tuned for my next episode, which is UFC Fight Night, Hendricks vs. Thompson. And I should be doing the pre-fight show for that show in the near future, obviously before the fight happens. And until then, see ya.